go straight to Tavleen Singh. Tavleen Singh, you've heard Shashi Tharoor, you've heard Dr. Singhvi. What's your sense? Is this a fixed match where the Gandhis will decide the terms on which it is fought, or do you genuinely see this as winds of change?
You know the answer to that question. You don't even need to ask me it. But for the sake of television, I will answer it. And you know as well as I do that it's not about fixing the match or anything. It is about creating, you know, smoke and mirrors and the impression of democracy within the party, which is why each and every person that you speak to now from the Congress party says, look, no other party does this. We're actually having an election, which is good. But you know, and I know, that the power is not, the power equations in the Congress party are not going to change. The person who controls the finances of the Congress party is not going to change. So it really is just a little bit of a distraction. And, you know, I don't know whether it'll go anywhere.
No, so therefore, you know, are you telling me that you see this entire exercise as purely a bit of a diversion, a distraction? You don't see it as a serious attempt at any level of the Congress trying to change? You believe this is a party stuck in the past?
I believe that it's a party that is stuck in confusion. I just heard on another show that, you know, somebody who supported the Congress party saying that the core of the Congress party is the Gandhi family. Now, this party is 100 years old or more, and it stood for certain values, it stood for certain principles, it stood for an idea. And if it would go back to that instead of wasting time deciding whether some 80-year-old Dalit leader should be the president, or someone who speaks English and all that sort of business, you know, instead of that, why are none of these Congress people talking about what it should stand for? What should be the questions being asked just now? The question should be asked, is Mr. Kharge more representative of those ideas, or is Shashi more representative?
But isn't the
I don't
truth,
know. And
no, but isn't the truth that the Congress's brand today is essentially the family? That all of this boils down to, at the end of the day, whether it's Mr. Kharge, whether it's Dr. Tharoor, the face will be Rahul Gandhi, and the Gandhis will take all the big decisions. Is that where you believe things have to change? Can that change? Can they really cut the umbilical cord?
No, they cannot now cut the umbilical cord because it's been strengthened over such a long period that to remove it now would be almost impossible. But what can happen is for the Congress party to rediscover what it stands for and to admit that it cannot continue if it allows the Gandhi family to remain the core of it. Because the Gandhi family, as you said, or somebody else did just now, you know, it doesn't win elections anymore. As long as it could win elections, it's fine to then say, okay, well, you know, that's the core, because even if I can't win in my own constituency, Sonia Gandhi can help me win. This is no longer true. It's been proven. So what are we talking about, you know? And we don't want the Congress party. I don't want the Congress party to die. Because, you know, we don't want a one-party India. And if the BJP wins a third term, that is what you've got. And that is elected autocracy, which we're already being accused of. So what we do need is for the Congress party to pull itself up and think of what it stands for. Get beyond all this.
You know, Sanjay Jha, as someone who's been an insider who's now an outsider, what does this mean? Mallikarjun Kharge, after all the talk of we'll have, you know, someone who will represent a new Congress, whether it's a Shashi Tharoor or whether it's someone else who perhaps is from the Hindi heartland, what does the Congress do? Turn to an old family loyalist in his 80s to address the challenges of a new India. Are you disappointed or not? Be honest.
Well, Rajdeep, I don't want to mince words. I do believe that the Congress party has done a good thing by, you know, holding the elections after decades. So better late than never where that is concerned. But at the same time, the perception, and I think that's a very legitimate, shall we say, criticism that is coming from many quarters, that is the candidature of Mr. Kharge one that is already orchestrated for a potential win. And I think if that perception continues to basically haunt the Congress, then the entire process and procedure and all the optics will actually have boomeranged. Because the fact of the matter is that the Congress needs to change, Rajdeep. The Congress has to stop the BJP. It needs to be having a different energy. It needs electricity, it needs fire, it needs, all the passion of the workers. It needs to invigorate the public, engage with media, and go to town.
It needs surgery.
Is Mr. Kharge capable of it? I'm not so sure.
It needs surgery, not band-aid, Ajoy Kumar. You're the official spokesperson on the program. Explain this to us. I mean, for days on end, there was Kaun Banega President. Now we've got, it appears, all the so-called Congress heavyweights lining behind Mr. Kharge. Is Mr. Kharge really the kind of person who can, as Sanjay Jha points out, really re-energize a party? You need someone with energy. JP Nadda, all said and done, has travelled to more than 150 Lok Sabha constituencies in 2 years. Can Mr. Kharge do that?
So, the issue is, first of all, we have an electoral college and people are going to elect. But you have assumed, let's imagine your assumptions. The second question, Rajdeep, is, and I was listening to Tavleen ji and my friend Sanjay also. The fact is that you have Shashi on one side and you have Mr. Kharge. Who's going to win? Let the people, all who have been elected from the various blocks, because they are the people who will elect. Each delegate is going to elect. I've seen those delegates from whether it's my Lok Sabha constituency or in Tripura. They are people who are, you might think that, they're going to get influenced with somebody nominating, somebody putting it. Nobody's telling me, or I'm not going and telling people that you
No. Why don't the Gandhis say, let's have a conscience vote? Why don't the Gandhis say, instead of sending this message out through sources that we are neutral, why don't they issue a statement? We have run this party for so many years. Sonia Gandhi has been the longest serving president. Why doesn't she put out please vote according to your conscience?
No, so it's a very strange, I'm listening to all these anchors. What are the kind of standards you're expecting to set on the Gandhis only, and you keep happening on Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi? Just a blunt question to you. Two people elected JP Nadda. Did you get Nadda on the show? Did you ask Mr. Amit Shah? The two people decided that he'll be the president of the so-called largest party. Is Rahul Kanwal tweeting? 80-year-old, 73-year-old Prime Minister? Look at the specious argument you guys do here. I mean, see, I'm a little offended by the simple fact.
This is not a... Look, the BJP is a party of power. As Tavleen Singh said, when you are in power, you can get away. The BJP is in power, so no one raises this question. You're out of power. There's a difference between being out of power and in power.
So by the way, all these standards are fluid. We don't care what it means. If you're in power and you're winning, it doesn't matter if 2.5 people elect the president, and so be it. So then let's have the integrity. I take great umbrage on a couple of things. I heard Mr. Rahul Kanwal tweeting like crazy. What about 72-year-old Prime Minister? Yeah, we have no issues on 72-year-old Prime Minister. Vajpayee ji was 74. The question again is, this guy has won 9 elections. Whether it's Kharge, Shashi is a brilliant candidate, and Kharge, Mr. Kharge has earned his first 9 times MLA. One second, let me complete, sir. I'm the officials for 9 times MLA. The question is, you think that you need a president who is hands-on, who is going to meet all the leaders.
Yes, but is Kharge that hands-on choice? That
you are deciding. So Rajdeep said this, and Rahul Kanwal have the wisdom of the world to decide whether Kharge is the person. But they don't have the wisdom to say whether JP Nadda can become a president.
Okay,
two people deciding. No, I'm just asking a question. JP Nadda, 2 people. Okay,